Check 1, 2. All right. Well, hey everyone, Andrew here with Nashville Severe Weather, and we've been watching this all day, and it looks like we do have a severe storm now in Davidson County. So let's talk about it. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County, and this is for winds that could approach 60 miles per hour there coming into Bordeaux, and we're in velocity mode here on the radar right now. And one thing that you'll notice is, let me get a couple things pushed over here and get a little organized. There we go. One thing you'll notice here, you see these bright blues here on the radar, and that's right around Bells Bend and Scottsboro coming into Bordeaux here in just a few minutes. And those are potentially 60 mile per hour winds coming into the Briley Parkway Loop. There around Bordeaux, TSU, and up there south of Briley Parkway, there on the north and west side of downtown Nashville. Now, this is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for about another 30 minutes or so. It's in effect until 3:30, and it looks, even in the latest scan, the winds have come down just a tad. So this is the severe thunderstorm warning may last a while. It may not. It may go away pretty quickly. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour winds potentially there in North Davidson County. It does include downtown Nashville, but the strongest winds look like they were right over sort of up there around the Ashland City Highway exit there off of Briley Parkway just a little bit ago, and that's where the strongest winds were moments ago. And so latest scan, the winds have come down just a tad, but we're going to watch them for a while and see what happens and see if those increase again over the next few minutes. Let's check and see if the Weather Service is noting anything. They're noting some rotation there. Looks like around Hickman County. Let's go down here and let's go away from the severe thunderstorm warning just for a second. Yeah, it looks like they're watching some rotation there just west of Centerville, so we'll keep an eye on that as well as that generally moves toward Williamson County, but that's going to be a little bit before it gets there. So our topic of conversation here for the next few minutes is going to be the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Davidson County just a few moments ago, and this is for 60 mile per hour winds and maybe some small hail, and that's in effect until, I believe, 3:30, and let me double check that. So in effect until 3:30, and so it looks like the strongest winds now are around Haines and around the Ashland City exit off of Briley Parkway on down to I-40. Maybe there where Briley Parkway comes off of I-40 there west of downtown Nashville. And looks like a new scan coming in now. Let's see if the winds have increased or decreased. Looks like there could be some areas of strengthening winds a little bit right there around, let's see, that's going to be right there near, what's that, Centennial Boulevard and John C. Toon Airport, right there around the river. And it looks like there could be some areas of enhanced winds there. And let's see what it's reading. Looks like there could be 50 mile per hour winds, elsewhere in the 20, 30 mile per hour range. Could be some gusts there in the 50 mile per hour range right there east of John C. Toon near the river. And that's generally moving east into downtown area. So let's go to the reflectivity. This is a traditional radar view, and this is going to show where the rain is. So this is more of a traditional view of the radar, and this is showing there's Briley Parkway here. Very heavy rain coming in from the west. In fact, this is the Oak Hill camera looking north, and that's going to show pretty clearly that rain moving in. Hard to tell a little bit there on the west side. It's just all gray, but that's going to be some pretty heavy rain. This is facing up toward downtown from Oak Hill, and that's going to be pretty rainy here over the next few minutes, and we'll see it in Midtown too here, but it's approaching kind of the backside of this camera at Midtown. So we'll be watching the cameras to see if we see any strong winds come through, but right now looks like we're doing okay. All right, let's go back to the over to the velocities here. Let's go to check out, see if the velocities have changed at all. Not really, looking about the same. And it looks like there is maybe one area here of enhanced velocities, and that's going to be That's going to be right here near, let's see, I can find out what all of those roads are. But that's going to be right there near the Cumberland River, actually, and that's going to be winds up to 58 miles per hour, kind of in that range there. And here we go. Yeah, that's going to be County Hospital Road, Snell Boulevard, Hinkle Drive, Hydes Ferry Road. So this is going to be just on the north side of the Cumberland River around Bordeaux. There's Bordeaux there, and County Hospital Road, and maybe some strong winds there crossing the river as that pushes east. So where are these strong winds headed? It looks like, if I had to guess, we could have enhanced winds all the way from the 2465 split north of town, all the way down through Metro Center, and all the way from the Bordeaux Bridge down into North Nashville, TSU area, all the way into downtown. So, we could have some enhanced winds there over the next 20 minutes or so. The Weather Service is noting that the radar did show some strong winds near 60 miles per hour around John C. Toon Airport, and these winds are moving across northwest Nashville currently. So it's right what we're looking at here on radar, and we're zoomed into exactly the areas that are most prone to seeing these strong gusty winds as this moves through. So again, if you're just joining us, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for really the northern part of Davidson County, from really Berry Hill and Belmead all the way up to the north to around Old Madison and Rivergate Mall area and Beeman Park, Bells Bend. Kind of, you see where the polygon is here, and you see Madison and Inglewood and the old Fontenelle property. That's there inside the polygon, Scottsboro, Bells Bend. So this is where we could see these enhanced winds, and the brighter the blues that you see here are these are the blues that indicate some of those stronger winds up in the 60 mile per hour range as it moves east. Got a new scan coming around. Let's see. It's looking a little more messy. It's not quite as bright blue and organized as it was a little bit ago. I'm going to go check another radar off screen here. And yeah, it looks like things have tamed a little bit. So that's good news. That's good news. All right. So we do have this severe thunderstorm warning that still remains in effect for 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible. But at the moment, it looks like those have come down some. And we're going to hope that remains the case. Let's talk about, in fact, let me check Twitter here. Good. Will's over on Twitter. That's good. And let's talk about kind of a 30,000-foot view. And we did this on Twitter just a minute ago. Let me switch back to reflectivity, and then we'll come back to this warning here in just a second. But let's back out. The only warning that we have in Middle Tennessee right now for severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, anything like that, is our severe thunderstorm warning here in Davidson County, and it may not last much longer. So the back edge of everything looks to be from about Springfield down to Dixon, down to western Hickman County, and down into down toward is that going to be Savannah down there? Waynesboro, rather. This is kind of the back edge of everything. So once all of this passes, we're going to be in good shape, and we don't expect any other severe weather for the rest of the evening after that passes. So we're looking pretty good at the moment. All right, so looks like the Weather Service is noting that the winds have weakened in North Nashville. Winds up to 50 miles per hour are still possible in that polygon, but it looks like the good thing is it looks like the 60 mile per hour winds have come down, and that's what we want to see. They didn't last too long, and that's great news. Looks like another little area, maybe some enhanced wind trying to get going there again, right around the Cumberland River, east of Metro Center. So this is going to be right around the where the West Loop comes back around and meets I-24. There's south of Trinity Lane. Could be a little spot there of kind of right there near the Fern Street overpass. If you were around Nashville, you've been around Nashville a long time, you know there were often news interviews taking place on the Fern Street overpass during snow events. And so that's right where this is. So that's could be an area of enhanced winds there, and wouldn't be surprised at all to see some 50 mile per hour wind gusts pop out of this as it moves east. All right, so I know some of you are jumping in, jumping out, and we have some new people joining us here. And so let's talk about this, what we have in effect right now. This is not a tornado warning. This is a very textbook severe thunderstorm warning where some 60-mile-per-hour winds got going pretty quickly there in the west side of Davidson County, pushed over to the east, and they decided to draw a polygon around it, make it a severe thunderstorm warning for the possibility that those winds might persist through Davidson County and through the polygon here and reach severe limits. And Weather Service is noting this little couple of pixels here of wind that's kind of gotten going near the 65-24 interchange there in north side of downtown Nashville. So entirely possible we could see some localized damaging winds there, right there around Fern Street and right there where 24 and 65 come back together. They're on the north side, and they got a new scan coming around. Very interested to see if that persists or if it disappears. Hopefully, it'll disappear. Come on, show us what we got. Yeah, it looks like it's weakened again a little bit. Not to say that it's totally gone, but radar not indicating that they have the 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts anymore. So that's good. But we see quite a few areas here in the bright greens where we could have some strong wind gusts that'll get your attention moving through Madison, Inglewood, North Nashville. Really, they're on the east side of I-65, around Good Pasture, and Skyline, Amqui, Rivergate Mall, all up and down Gallatin Road there. So it could be gusty. Let's go back over to the regular view of radar, and it's really right where the strongest rain is. So the strongest area of rain stretches up and down Gallatin Road right now, from Madison, Amqui up to Rivergate Mall, down Inglewood, all the way into Nashville. So that's where the strongest wind is. The strongest rain, and that's typically where you'll find the small or the strongest winds. Down to the south, outside of the polygon, it gets a little more scattered. It's not quite as not quite as crazy down there. Some brief heavy downpours, maybe some gusty winds down there through Williamson County, and then back to the west. Let's look at velocities again on this. They've been talking about this storm back here in Hickman County, one that they've been watching a little bit of rotation back there around just west of Centerville, just west of town there off Highway 50 in Centerville. And we're going to keep an eye on that. Earlier, a similar storm up north of it is what kind of created that tornado warning that lasted, for, half an hour or so. We'll watch and make sure, see if that strengthens. But right now, that cell there in western Hickman County seems to be behaving, and we hope it keeps doing that. But we're going to watch that. That will generally head off to the northeast and will affect areas of western Williamson County. And let's check that area again with a new radar scan. Yeah, still broadly rotating, but not seeing anything too strong or too tight yet. But we'll keep watching it. How about our new scan up in Nashville? Yeah, still not seeing anything too crazy. Winds seem to have come down there in that warning there in Davidson County, and radar has a pretty good read on it right there because it's shooting right into it. So the hope is that those winds have come down. Let me check some cameras here. What do we got? Well, this is Oak Hill looking off to the north. Still just a bunch of gray, just a bunch of rain. Weather Service continues to note that it looks like there was sort of a swath of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds that moved from John C. Toon Airport there on the west side. Let's see here. So the airport's going to be right in here. There's John C. Toon Airport. Moved through to the east, across Bordeaux, really kind of followed the river there, Bordeaux, Metro Center, and over to the 2465 split on the north side of town over to East Nashville. So could be still some gusty winds there. Let's check some replies, see what you're seeing out there. Somebody asked if anything's rotating. Not in Davidson County, no. Looks like power outage there in Inglewood. Doesn't surprise me. Pretty gnarly storm. Let's see here. Yeah, no other real reports there. All right, so we're still watching this area from inside the polygon here, mostly east of I-65 and really mostly east. In fact, they've just shored up the warning there. You see how the warning just got clipped. So it looks like the strongest winds now would be from Madison, Amqui, really up and down Gallatin Road, over to the Opryland area, and down to Hermitage, and over to downtown Nashville. So that's where the strongest wind appears to be right now. They've kind of shored that warning up. And let's go, let me check over to the, let's see here. Let me go over to the Midtown camera. Yeah, nothing really there. So anyway, let's back out a little bit. So we have a small polygon left there in Davidson County, and so still some gusty winds possible there in East Nashville. Let us know if you see any damage, anything like that, and use hashtag TSpotter on Twitter. As always, we love it when you do that. Let us know what damage you're seeing out there. That really helps a lot of people when you send those reports in. So, we're still watching this small area of rotation here. It's a very compact little area right around Centerville, just west of Centerville. No warnings associated with it, but we're keeping an eye on it. That's one little area of rotation we're watching. It's not strong rotation and it's not tight rotation, so we're not too worried about it at the moment, but it's there nonetheless, and we'll watch it as it moves up toward Williamson County. But at the moment, we're not real concerned about it. So really, we just have this little polygon left in Davidson County, and it may not stay around much longer. So it's due to expire in 12 minutes. Not sure if it'll be around that long, but it looks like the winds have relaxed a little bit right there. Let me check let's check replies again on Twitter. Yeah, no real reports there. So that's good. That's good. Hopefully that means this thing's behaving itself. Yeah, it looks like they just canceled the warning, so that's good. I was sort of expecting that to happen. Winds seem to have come down quite a bit, so the Weather Service canceled that warning for Davidson County. We're warning free again. So let's back out, talk about other stuff going on just real quick, and then we'll let you get back to your what you were doing before. So we have really a messy setup. This is just really messy. It looks like it's kind of had trouble getting organized. It has some severe components to it. Obviously, we have some strong, severe winds that can get going in this, but it just looks kind of messy, and as in having a hard time getting organized. And even that little area of rotation back here around Centerville, it just it has not strengthened. It looks pretty puny right there. That cell there north of Centerville. So I'm not panicking whatsoever. I hope you can kind of hear it in my voice. And that's one reason why we like to go live, is to sort of share with you not only our words on Twitter, but also sort of our emotions, and just letting you know kind of how we're feeling about things. And I'm not panicked about anything I see on radar right now. Watching it very carefully. And that's how we noticed that these winds were picking up in Davidson County, is because we're watching all these storms scan by scan. And when they start exhibiting signs of becoming severe or might hurt life or property, then the Weather Service picks up on that and issues warnings, and we communicate those to you. But really, we're not seeing anything right now that's worrisome. But we're going to watch things carefully, because that could all change. All right, everybody have a great afternoon. We'll be over on Twitter, and we'll be on Twitter and go back live if we need to. Otherwise, we'll just see you over there on the Twitter. Have a good evening.